Adding a slicer to a pivot table is pretty straightforward and very easy. So we have here our My Pivot Table workbook open here. And so what I want to do is I want to add a slicer. So I'm going to come up to my Pivot Table Analyze ribbon tab. Over here in the Filters group, I'm going to click Insert Slicer. It opens up my Insert Slicers dialog box, and it's going to show me what's available. There's an Active tab and an All tab. That's in the event we have more than one table. Right now we only have one table, so we're going to go Active tab, and I'm going to come down and decide what type of slicer, or i.e. filter, do we want to filter by. And in this case we're going to choose region and type. Those are the two most common methods that we might be asked to filter our data out by. So I'm going to click OK, and then they appear right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the title of the region. I'm going to kind of position it down here, kind of the top is level with the chart, and then I'm going to resize this. So with the region selected, I'm going to come up to the Slicer ribbon tab here in the size group. I'm going to change the height to 2.5. I'll press enter, and there it is. Now with my type, I'm going to click and select that and change that height to 1 inch. And then I'm going to reposition this below the other chart, the other slicer. Pretty simple. So now from here, if I come over and click this little guy right here, multi-select, click that one time, that means I can, without pressing anything else, I can just click on individual fields and choose what I want to filter by. So if I want to see North and South America, I'll click these to remove those filters, and now it changes my chart, it changes my pivot table as well. Now if I want to return back to everything selected, I'm going to click right here, Clear Filter, and it opens it up. Now next I want to add in a time filter element. So I'm going to add a timeline. The exercise says go to A5 to make that your active cell. Quite frankly, it makes little difference as long as my active cell is in the pivot table. From there I'm going to go to my Pivot Table Analyze ribbon tab and come over to Filters and click Insert Timeline. That'll open up my Insert Timelines dialog box here. I'm going to place a check mark next to date and time. Why is this the only field showing? Well, is because this is the only field that contains a date. So I'm going to select that and click OK. And there it is. I'm going to move this over to the side here, and let's format it a little bit. With that selected, with our timeline selected, I'm going to come to my Timeline ribbon tab. The first thing I want to do is change that title of that filter. See where it says date time? I'm going to come over to the Timeline group and click right in here. When I click inside there, it selects everything, and in this case I'm going to put in time period. Press enter. There it is. So now it's been titled more appropriately. I'm going to format it a little bit here in the timeline styles. I'll click the More button, and then I'm going to choose this here, the light blue timeline style dark 1. And that's all there is to it. So now I can also determine, right now I can see it's on months. If I click that, it's going to show me I can choose years, quarters, months, or days. We'll leave it on months for now. And let's just see what it looks like. If I click right here and drag, I can see those first 3 months results. Maybe I want to expand it, maybe September and October. As you can see, it displays accordingly. Pretty simple. Okay, thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and we'll see you in the next exercise.